Well, how was that for timing? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Morning Motivator, and hopefully Dawn is seeing my slides. Hi, Diane, Eileen, John, Tamara. Everyone's asleep at the wheel. Hey, Robin. Uh, I don't know. Oh, yes, I know. I understand. 100,000%. Believe me, I'm amazed I get here on time. At, in the mornings, I have to become obsessive at watching my clock because I get so distracted doing everything I'm doing. I tend to be a multitasker, even though multitasking is you can't really multitask. You can really only focus on one thing at a time, but I focus on lots of things. And so I'll get distracted doing something and the time just goes by like that. Oh, the room is hiccuping again. Sometimes it does that. Hey, Claudia. Glad you made it back. Hey, Thomas. Monica. Great to see you guys. Hey, Tamara, do you want to go in the groups and just, yell at them? Let them know we're live. I didn't send out my invites today, that I send with my seek and send, and I do find that makes a difference. But just remind them, it is easy to get distracted. I know how it is. I do. We're going to have to all start setting alarms or something. Speaking of alarms, I got to tell you guys, okay, those of you who know me know that I'm a bit of a techno junkie, right? Yes? You know that. Do you guys? I'm just curious if any of you actually realize that I'm a techno junkie. I love technology. Dawn and I both do. And, it doesn't even mean we, use things to their utmost best, but we certainly use it. And so a couple of years ago, we got our first smartphones. Well, I shouldn't say that. We had Blackberries. So we were Crackberry people, and we quite liked our Crackberry. I loved my keyboard on my Crackberry, and then our contract was up, and we both got Samsungs, and this is my little Samsung. It's just loading. You can see this. Quite a nice phone. Great phone. There it is. Very user-friendly. It gave me access to everything. I could watch videos. I could connect. Oh, well, I couldn't really connect on Skype. That didn't work well. And as you guys know, it was my birthday last week. And so we went on Saturday and check this out, okay? Can you see the difference? They're not that much different. Here they are, side by side. Okay, so there's the old phone, and here's the new phone. But I gotta tell you something, okay? You have it, Maggie? Do you love this phone or what? Like it's the Note 3. So they call it a phablet. It's pretty big. My brother says you can see how big it is in my hand, but it's very thin. It weighs less than this one. Okay, it weighs less than my old phone. My brother says that's not a phone, that's a mini computer. And I said, yes, it is. It is a mini computer. I've got my Skype on here. Let me show you. I love this. Okay, Skype is on. There we are. There's my Skype. All my messages are there. There you all are. Is that cool or what? Oh, I love it. I know you think I'm crazy. This gives me freedom. I can access everything from here. Everything. I get on the internet. I can do my email. It's bigger. The keyboard is bigger. The keyboard is nicer. I could go on and on and on and on. I almost went with an iPhone. I almost did, John, because both my daughters have iPhones now, and I got to admit they're pretty nice, but they are not this. This gives me freedom to go anywhere I want. Weighs nothing. So Don has a Note 2. He has the little bit older version. He got his last year, and that is why I actually wanted this, because every time I pick up his phone and look at it, I want it. You got it for the FaceTime. Yeah, my daughter, and she has a tablet or an iPad. I have a tablet. I have a Samsung tablet, and Dawn has a Samsung, and I really like my phone. Okay, I really like my phone. And if you have Skype, we can FaceTime with Skype. Anyhow, pretty excited about the whole thing, pretty excited about the phone. The battery lasts forever. But so that's my story. I'm seriously, ask Dawn. What was I like on Saturday, Dawn? It doesn't take much to get this kid, because, you know, guess what? This phone really didn't even cost me anything. I got there, it was supposed to be $100. It's a $750 phone, but with a new contract, $100. And they said, well, with you're a loyal TELUS customer, they're not charging you anything. I said, thank you, TELUS. I was all giddy. I was like a little kid. I was just, it was the best day of my life. What can I say? It just got better and better and better and better and better. Yeah, he didn't see me for a few hours. It was really quiet. Don liked it. He didn't hear from me. It was like, oh, she was gone. I love it. Well, there's lots of things I love. You know, and it's funny because I manifested it, right? I went and looked because the week before I looked and it would have cost me $200 to buy this phone, which is, you know, rather than $750. So they were giving a $500 credit. And then when I went and logged in on Saturday, it was $100. And I thought, I can do $100. And when I got there, it was zero. But I manifested this because I kept thinking, that's all I've been thinking about is I'm really tired of this phone. Okay, so I just unplugged this phone, and it's already lost 5% of its battery. This has been unplugged for 3 hours, and it's only lost 7%. TELUS is a customer of your company. Well, that's pretty cool. What is your company, John? TELUS is the wireless, the telephone provider. Everything we have is TELUS. We have a TELUS phone, TELUS TV, TELUS internet, TELUS mobile. It's funny. Yeah, I love deals. I love deals. Well, today is Method Monday. What's your method? We all have a different method, right? We're here sharing and practicing the law of attraction, really understanding the idea of being happy, really understanding the idea of having a good vibration all the time and not focusing on the things that are not working. I've been working a lot with Tamara lately. Tamara, I hope you don't mind if I say that, but Tamara and I have been working closely together. She's our admin person at CLB, and we've been mentoring each other. Trust me, it's when you're mentoring with someone, you both learn. And we've been reading this book, TNT, The Power Within You. Today we're going to be talking about I Know What I Believe in, and It Is So. And as I've been working with Tamara, she's really been open. And I got to tell you guys, when you're open to hearing the things that you really do want to change, when someone says, you know, that didn't sound very nice, and that wasn't really the best approach, and that could have been handled differently, and that thought maybe isn't a thought that's really serving you well, and you know, those words are maybe not serving you well. And when that happened for me, when I was open to recognize the things that I wanted to change about myself, oh, magic happened. And if I'm not mistaken, magic is happening for Tamara too. Because she's really starting to get this. Now she's still thinking about the things that aren't happening. Okay, and that's habit, isn't it? We tend to focus on, we did this, but I didn't get the result I wanted. Yes, put your hand up. I did something. I gave an action. I followed instructions, and the result was not what I thought it was going to be. Anyone else? Is only Claudia and Tamara think that way? You do something and you go, that wasn't exactly what I was hoping would happen. And we all do it. What we need to do is that when we recognize that we're saying that, yes, I did my follow-up and nobody responded, or they said that nobody has gotten back, or they're this or that, and so my response is, yes, I followed up. And I had a great conversation with so-and-so. I think that may be a positive route down the road, and I feel more comfortable approaching people. What we need to practice is letting go of looking at what didn't happen. We need to let go of what didn't happen, or would happen negatively. When we get no, when someone says no, it devastates us. Oh, thought for sure that person would say yes. And I can tell you, I mean, I've got 15 years of experience here. Wouldn't you think if I approached someone that they would just go, oh man, I got to join you? If I gave them an opportunity to join me in a business, don't you think they'd all be going, oh yeah, I want to join you? And that just doesn't happen, okay? And I am very sensitive to that everything, every product, every program, every system is not for everyone. And it may not be for everyone at this time, and that's okay. And that is what I really want to say, is that what you need to do in everything you do, everything, is find the positive that happened from it. Yet they have to want it, Claudia. All you can do, though, is if you don't approach them and let them know that you're involved, they're going to join someone else. And I saw that happen a lot in our other business, in our health and wellness business, because it's not something I have forefront and center. I'm not always out there talking that. It's just kind of in the background. It's the products I use, and so it's there. It's in the system, and because of that, there are people I know who had joined but didn't join with me because they didn't know I was in. And so what that reminded me of is, if you don't let people know what you're doing, they may join someone else, right? And so your job is simply to let people know what you're doing and to invite them to have a look. And I always tell everyone, especially with internet marketing, is you got to stop selling and you simply have to start recommending, letting people know this is what you're doing. I just want to invite you to have a look. That's it. They're going to say no. The majority will say no. That's okay. That's okay. Page 132. Did you guys have a good weekend? I had an amazing weekend. I feel like the partying just hasn't stopped. The celebrating for my birthday, and it's because there's been so many birthdays being celebrated. My niece turned 18. My cousin's daughter turned 16. So there was lots of celebrations, and they just never seemed to end. So it was nice. We had a quiet day yesterday. We went to a movie in the afternoon. We went and saw Maleficent. Has anyone seen Maleficent? What a fun movie. I was expecting something a little darker, and it was just, oh, it was wonderful. I loved it. What can I say? Yeah, get away for the night. Go have some fun. Gotta have some fun. Gotta have some fun. Gotta have some fun. I gotta tell you guys, every day you gotta have some fun, regardless of what you're doing. Tamara, how are those crafts doing? Are you getting some ideas of playing with your crafts again, of doing things that are fun, bring you pleasure? It's like, what else can I do today? What can I do that's fun? Page 132, chapter 11. I know it. I believe it, and it is so. Do we even need to read this chapter? Is this not the meat and the matter of all of this? Agreed? I want to read this quote before we go on, a Martin Luther King quote. This is all about methods, right? Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. I was watching some of Super Soul Sunday yesterday, and that was what they talked about. Love. Oh no, it was a Lionel Richie video on Super Soul Sunday, or on her Oprah page, and talking about love. And love is the foundation of everything, and it really and truly is. Regardless of what's going on, we need to approach everything from a state of love, not a state of angst or anger or tension or frustration. If we feel ourselves in those modes, we need to reach for better feeling thoughts, right? There's a saying I thoroughly believe in. If you believe it, it's so. This is simply a cryptic statement or digest of what I've been telling you over and over. All the great teachers, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad, Jesus, and many philosophers taught this great fundamental idea. It is found in all religions, cults, creeds, and sects. Everywhere runs the same general theme, the gist of which, in my words, is, if you believe it, it's so. I quote from the Bible, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." You've heard this quotation many times before, but I repeat for emphasis, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you believe it, it's so. Note the similarity. Reduce the whole world to one word, faith. I've heard many, many people say the day of miracles is past, but never in my life have I heard a thinker, a student, or a believer make such a declaration. Surely days of Aladdin and his lamp are gone, and perhaps they never existed. So with the magic wand, the magic carpet, and all of those things of fairy tale and legend. Entertaining, but no basis in fact, no reality. When I refer to miracles, I mean those things which can be accomplished through faith. Faith in your belief, faith in yourself, faith in the persons with whom you are associated, faith in a power, faith in that something which controls the destinies of everyone. If you can get that faith and dissipate the negative side, nothing in this world can stop you from acquiring what you desire. Well, this may sound facetious. It is true. You can have anything obtainable if you really want it. I just want to reach out to you guys right now. You can have anything you want. You can have anything obtainable if you really want it. Anything in the world, anything. You can be, have, do, absolutely anything that you can think of. Do you believe that? Absolutely 100%. Do you believe that? Hi, Maurice. Mandy does. Do you absolutely believe that anything obtainable, you can have anything. If all you have to do is think about it, you can have it. You can create it. You can make it happen. It's yours. Good. I'm glad we're all in the right mindset here. Faith is the mainspring of attainment. You must have it to achieve, to move yourself and others. Tamara says, it's getting easier to believe I can. Why is it getting easier to believe you can? Tamara? Why is it easier for you to believe? Is it because you're seeing the evidence of it? And of course, the evidence of it comes because you keep thinking about something. And because you keep thinking about something, you offer a vibration of it. And as you offer a vibration of it, things come to you. Because you are around people who say you can. Because I'm around people who say I can. Really, the wrong answer is because you're practicing better feeling thoughts and you are creating a better vibration. And because you are hanging around people who believe they can. We all know that everybody can do whatever they want. We know that. But if you don't believe it, and what we think has nothing to do with it, Tamara. What we think about you, what we think you can do has nothing to do with what you can do. You are hanging around people who feel the same as you, who want a better life, who are reaching for better feeling thoughts, who are reaching for better vibrations, who are really starting to really get it. And I'm not talking about absolutely ignoring everything that's going on in the world. There is stuff going on in the world. We simply need to be aware of the stuff that's going on in the world and reach for a better vibration so that we can create a better world. Who believes that? Everyone is on their own path. When there's something going on in the world that does not directly affect you, it's somebody else's path, whether you agree with what's going on or not. If it doesn't directly affect you at this very single moment, you can be aware of it and offer a vibration that is in alignment with what you want, not with what you don't want. If we focus on things that are upsetting us or that are sad, We're offering that vibration, and we're adding to that formula. Do you really get that? When you're sad, when you're upset, when you're frustrated, you're adding to that negative vibration in the world. And wouldn't you rather increase the positive vibration in the world? If it doesn't affect me, I don't put much thought into it. And hubby says I'm sticking my head in the sand. Well, but do you get what I'm saying, Tamara? If it doesn't affect me, I don't really give much thought to it either. The only thought I give to it is a thought of positive vibration, that things will be better, that they will find their happy spot, that there will be good things come. And that's all you can do. It's my sand. I can have my head in my sand if I want. We're aware. We're aware of it. But we don't need to talk about it unless we're going to talk about a solution for it. That if we all pray together, so if you're in a group together, you can talk about, if there's something going on that isn't something good, you can talk about the good that's coming out of that, the people that are there to help, the people that are on their own path. They're on their own path. I can't say that enough. They're on their own path. They're on their own journey. It's not your journey unless you want it to be. Wouldn't it be nice if it wasn't that way? Wouldn't it be nice if they found the vibration? And yet, I dare you all to go to those places that are third world countries, that are war-torn, that are primitive, that don't believe the way we do. And I can promise you, you will find people that are happy, that have a good vibration even in their world. They're still creating that happiness. It's everywhere. And the more that we reach for it, the more we infect others with it. Are you noticing that? Are you noticing that you are beginning to infect the people around you? Because that's when it gets really exciting. When you can recognize that you are infecting people around you, that people around you are starting to be happier around you. So they may not be happy around everyone, but they've stopped complaining around you because they know you're not going to listen. Wouldn't it be nice? What is it that Amy had? Gypsy Smith, Billy Sunday, the present-day Billy Graham, Monsignor Sheen, Norman Vincent Peale. Belief, faith, fundamentally, and the ability of a staunch believer to pass it on to the other fellow. It's the very keynote of all great religions. All big things are started by one person, one believer. It makes no difference where he got the original idea. All great inventions are the outgrowth of the whole scheme of faith. Believe in yourself, your ideas, your ability to put them over. All super salesmen know this. They use the power. That's why they are super salesmen of religions, commodities, projects. Every community drive, every forward movement, everything worthwhile succeeds because some one person has faith, is the prime mover, the spark plug, the central foundation, and is able to sell what he has faith in to the multitudes, to pass faith on like a contagion. Think about it. Then think about it some more. And think of it again. Meditate over it, and you'll realize that every word is true. You have faith in a religion, a commercial product, a community drive, because someone originally gave you faith in it. You accept certain people as authorities because you believe in them. What they tell you, you believe without question, and you take or buy what they offer you. That's faith. Occasionally, some clever person will mislead you and cause you to believe in something that isn't so. And when you discover this, you are often bitter and disillusioned. You say, I'll never believe in anyone again. But you will, because to believe is a fundamental trait of human nature. You instinctively want to believe in others and in yourself. This would be a terrible world if we couldn't trust anyone. Foghorn Murphy, the famous umpire baiter, said over the radio on Groucho Marx's You Bet Your Life show that the cheapest thing a person could do was to be nice to other people, greet them with a smile, and trust them. This paid the biggest dividends. He's 1,000% right. Genuine faith in the other fellow always pays off. You may misplace your faith a few times, but this is a rarity. Most people make an effort to live up to your faith in them. They may fail others, even take advantage of them, but they are so appreciative of your faith that they won't let you down. Wow. You know, it reminds me of a story. When my son was in high school, he would have his friends over every now and then, and, you know, they get a little rowdy. They would drink a little bit under safe circumstances, and you know, there'd be mixed groups. And I never worried about it. I trusted them, and in the morning, everything was cleaned up. The house was back to normal. Nothing was damaged. And yet I heard of parties where these same individuals attended where that was not true, where things did get damaged, where parties went out of control. And I asked my son, why is that? He said, because they respect you, Mom. Because they respect you. And I thought, wow. And to be honest, it's because I had faith in them that they would be responsible. It was really interesting. You know what? People are going to take advantage, and it bothers you, but it's not about you, is it, Claudia? I love it. I've had men and women say to me, "What are you wasting time on that drunken, no-good deadbeat for? He can't be depended on. He'll steal you blind and take advantage of you at the first opportunity." Well, I've placed my faith in hundreds and hundreds of men and women thus far, and I haven't been intentionally let down yet. Some of the folks I've trusted were too weak to keep an even keel, but they didn't go out to take me. They felt worse than I did about failing to live up to my estimate of them. And most of them have picked themselves up and have been trying again and again. They know I still have faith in them, that I haven't condemned them, that I'm always willing to help when and where I can. But they know, too, that it's basically up to them, that no person can be helped beyond a certain point, that they've got to do the job of getting back on their feet themselves through faith. The power within cannot operate for you unless you have faith in it. I felt like those were my words. I have faith in all of you, that you will do your best every day to be your best, that you will do your best to think different thoughts, that you will do your best to think different thoughts, to feel different feelings, to see different things, to see things in other people that they don't see in themselves, to find the good in everything. Does that sound Pollyannish or whatever you want to call it? I don't think so. It doesn't mean ignoring what's going on in the world or anything that's being done wrong to you. It simply means that that's not about you. That's about someone else on a different path. And you can inspire and motivate others to be on a different path by being on a different path. Agreed? I'm going to finish this up and then we'll do our meditation. I just want to get to the next section. He says, I've had men and women say to me, what do you wait? Oh, wait, I already read that part. There we go. Right, because I got to here. The power within cannot operate for you unless you have faith in it. So put your belief to work. We will pick up there tomorrow. I didn't even realize I'd read that. Goodness, I got so involved in that in that whole thing. It just really made me emotional because I have faith in all of you. I always have. And I've gone down the path the wrong way sometimes, and I bring myself back. I have faith in me that I can come back, and it's stronger than ever now. I worry less and less, I must say. Let's do some guided meditation today. We're going to do some general well-being with Esther Hicks. We're going to sit back for 15 minutes, and we're going to just listen to the music without judgment. Just allow your feelings to be. Allow your thoughts to come and go. Focus on your breathing as much as you can. What the purpose of all of this really is to let go. I'll meet you back here in 15 minutes.
Welcome to the doorway of your vortex. We are extremely pleased that you've made the decision to be here. Breathe in. Breathe out. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creation and for the purpose of aligning with who you really are. Breathe in. Breathe out. We want you to know that as you relax and breathe and focus softly upon the words that we are offering to you here, you are allowing the gentle tuning of your vibration to the frequency of your source, who is inside the vortex. Breathe in. Breathe out. Be easy as you find the rhythm of your body, and enjoy long, slow breaths in and out as you hear our words. Breathe in. Breathe out. It is not necessary that you concentrate, and there is nothing that you need remember. Just relax and breathe and enjoy. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are an extension of non-physical source energy, and you have come here with great eagerness and purpose. You intended to explore Earth's perfect balance of contrast for the purpose of moving life beyond what it has been before. Breathe in. Breathe out. In this moment in time and space, you are precisely where you have intended to be, and the source within you is pleased. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your life continually calls more expansion through you, and all that is benefits from the important part that you play. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you relax and breathe deeply, you can feel the appreciation that Source feels for you in this moment in time. Appreciation for your physical world, for its diversity, and for the stream of never-ending desires that flow forth from you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Before your birth into this physical body, you understood the importance of the contrasting diversity on planet Earth. Breathe in. Breathe out. You jumped in eagerly to explore the variety and to enjoy the expansion that you knew would be called through you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your life is supposed to feel good to you, for you have deliberately chosen it as the platform from which more will flow. The appreciation that Source feels for you never-endingly will wrap you in a warm blanket of worthiness if you will allow it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your life is serving you well and is providing the basis of expansion exactly as you knew it would when you decided to come. Breathe in. Breathe out. You have launched countless rockets of desires into your vortex of creation, and your frequent entry there will always feel good. Breathe in. Breathe out. From inside your vortex, things satisfy and delight you. You feel expansive and frisky, and you are eager for more. With every new discovery and each new place you stand, the expansive feeling of more continues to call you and refresh you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your world is gradually expanding, steadily growing and refreshing, while finding balance every step along the way. Breathe in. Breathe out. Well-being is the dominant basis of all that is, of the universe and of the physical planet upon which you now stand. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your magnificent world is eternally tied to the steady rhythm of well-being at its core, and the same is true of you. As you relax and refresh, releasing resistance as you breathe, you will discover the balancing rhythm of your source. Breathe in. Breathe out. Be easy about your life and feel our appreciation for who you are as you allow wonderful things to flow naturally to you. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you relax into the law-based premise of our words, any resistance you have found along your physical path will be released. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you listen to our words and remember who you are, you will rediscover your natural vibrational patterns of well-being. Each day you will find more clarity, more stamina, more eagerness. Each day you will remember who you are and why you have come. Breathe in. Breathe out. That which is your source is fully aware of you right now and feels unspeakable appreciation for who you are. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your life is supposed to feel good to you, and you are meant to feel happiness in your life, and you are meant to satisfy your dreams. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are doing extremely well. The well-being that you seek is flowing to you. Relax and enjoy the unfolding. Feel appreciation for what is, and eagerness for what is coming. There is great love here for you. Breathe in. For the next few minutes, letting the music guide you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain in the vortex.
Well, I don't know about you, but that felt pretty wonderful and relaxing and empowering and exciting and happy. Did that feel happy? Are you all feeling happy? Happy, happy, happy? Happy, happy? Yeah, happy. Happy is as happy does, right? So if your day turns in a way that is not in alignment with your happy, then it's up to you to stop for a moment and breathe in some happy before you approach your day. So before we go today, let's practice our Tools to Life exercise. We're going to take a big breath in. You're going to put the biggest smile you know on your face by looking at something that makes you feel happy. And if you've been following any of our teachings or any of our exercises, somewhere where you are, you have something nice to look at. So look at that and smile and then exhale, okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Big breath in. Smile and exhale. Ah. Oh, that feels so good. Yes? Happy. All right, you guys are awesome. I'm going to bring up something inspirational. Should we do some stomp? I don't know. That just gets my blood going, makes me feel good. Let's stomp a little bit. I'm not tired of Serena yet. So we'll stomp with Serena. See you guys tomorrow. Love you all.